still got like 5 assignments to do, but I'm not.
Well, hello there, and welcome to the Neuse Sports Show. I am Brian Hanks. To my left, to your right, is the rock star of Kinston. And if I've ever needed to know this, all I have to do is go around to schools like I do.
Oh my
And
goodness.
everybody, I have actually been asked, do you know Junius Smith? Do you know Junius Smith? And I have to tell, I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Wow.
This is Junius Smith III, but you know what? I didn't even have to introduce him to you because you already knew that. How are you doing, Junius?
I'm doing wonderful. Glad to have you back, man.
I was getting ready to ask, did you miss me last week?
I really did.
Well, listen, I want to thank Graham Hill for sitting in for me. We
Definitely.
Absolutely. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's
You know,
all right. It's all
Wait a
right.
minute, is Dr. Town and BJ going to smack me upside the head when I say that?
I don't think they'll do it on camera, but
Okay, very good. But I did. I had a responsibility. I had a lot of fun. I should tell you about it, dude. Down East Wood Ducks responsibility. One of my 9 jobs that I have, so I had to be out there last week for that. But Graham Hill, pretty much at the last moment, I know you called him. He jumped in, and
Right.
From everything I've heard, you guys had a lot of fun. But you did miss me, though, right?
without question. I mean, Graham and I, we had a good report and everything. Of course, like we did live broadcasts for basketball, football, and baseball. But you know what? It's always glad to have the dynamic duo working again. So.
Absolutely, man. I love it. So thank you again to Graham Hill for sitting in for me last week here on the Neuse Sports Show. We have got a lot to tell you about this week. We are in the throes of high school football here in eastern North Carolina, and especially right here in Lenoir County, Greene County, our little portion of Jones County, our little portion of Pitt County. We have a bunch of games that were played last week. Heck, even one that was played on Tuesday, Junius. And then this week starts the conference race. So what a great show we have for you. Also, got a very special treat for you. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I haven't. What are you talking about?
I had a chance to sit down with Jay Wilson, the head football coach at Greene Central High School. Did that yesterday, and now here's the bad part, and you can attest to this, and Dr. Town can, and BJ Murphy can too. I had a 16-minute interview with him, so I get up with you, and I'm like, well, I know I can't run all 16 minutes because we try to keep this show to about 30 minutes, and you were like, yeah, get it down to 8 minutes. It literally took me 2 hours to cut, and get it down to 8. Well, I think it's about 8:31 is what it ended up being. But if you would like to see that full interview, and we'll tell you this a few times, just click back on the Neuse News page, the Neuse News Facebook page after this show, and you'll be able to see the full uncut. I guess I would call that the director's cut, right?
We'll go with that.
Very good. Listen, let's talk about the games that were played last week. But before we do that, let's thank these valuable sponsors. We would not be able to do this show if we didn't have these sponsors that were helping us out. And let's start with Lenoir Community College. Lenoir Community College's Quick Jobs program provides training, Junius, so you can get to work in less than 6 months.
Let me find out. And because LCC partners with area employers, you can find not only just a job, but a new lifelong career.
I love it. Jobs currently in demand include henning. I just combined heating and ventilation into one word, so it's henning, okay?
Let's go.
Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, electrical wiring, energy distribution systems, manufacturing, truck driver training, and welding.
Tuition assistance may be available as well as nationally recognized credentials.
It's a new year and a new you. Let LCC empower you to get the job and career you've always hoped for.
So to learn about Quick Jobs, call 252-527-623. Excuse me, 527-6222. Wow.
Whoa. Take 3.
Take 3. 252-527-6223, extension 714, or enroll at lenoircc.edu/quickjobs.
Absolutely. Listen, we also want to thank KC Crop Insurance. They're here to serve all of your crop insurance needs. With more than 50 years of combined experience, they take pride in excellent customer service.
So give the KC Crop Insurance Service Team a call at, let me get this number right, 252-522-9613. That's 252-522-9613. And tell them Neuse News sent you.
And I know, listen, if you have been on Neuse News at all in the past, 2 months or so, or our Facebook
like
page, you know about this thing that BJ Murphy and Aletha Thrower and the whole team has been putting together. It's called the SM3 Summit. If you're an entrepreneur, a social media manager, or a marketing professional, you need to be at the SM3 Social Media Summit in Kinston on October 5th.
There are going to be speakers from across the state who will talk to you about how to go viral with your videos, how to sell, how to market your brand, create a social media calendar, and so much more.
So go to sm3summit.com. Again, that's sm3summit.com. And finally, if you are not subscribing to it, I don't know what's wrong with you. You need to be subscribing to the Neuse newsletter. You want to read the 9 stories a day that this man writes for Neuse News. So be sure to do that. It's very easy. All you have to do is go to neusenews.com to subscribe. The subscribe button is up at the top. It's that simple, Junius Smith III.
7 in the morning, you will have a full slate of everything that is going on right here locally in your area. In Kinston, Lenoir County, Greene County, Jones County, a little bit of Pitt. We try to do everything that we can to make sure that we keep it local.
Absolutely. And again, 9 stories a day, right?
Well, I'm kind of lowering it to about 5 or 6 now.
There you go. Let's talk about the games that were played last week and even one that was played on Tuesday. These are all finals from last Friday. Kinston defeated Southern Wayne 44-9. North Lenoir defeated Eastern Wayne 21-20. South Lenoir defeated Spring Creek 49-14. Parrott Academy. Wow, I'm having trouble pronouncing words today, dude. Parrott Academy defeated Greenville John Paul II 50-26. Now, this is a really weird one we're going to talk about here in a second, but Bethel Christian Academy defeated, they didn't defeat. They were ahead on the field 14-0. They ended up having to forfeit that game, but we're going to talk about that here in a moment. Greene Central defeated Farmville Central 29-0. Aiden Grifton over North Pitt 44-12. And then finally, Goldsboro Rosewood defeated Jones Senior 60-7. Jones Senior then turned around and played again this following Tuesday, yesterday, and lost to North Duplin 48-6. I know a game that you covered, and these are all important games. I'll tell you what. Let's jump to the first two. We got to get in before we go to our interview with Coach Wilson.
Right.
And the first one is North Lenoir 21, Eastern Wayne 20, 5-0 for the first time in North Lenoir history. You did that game. Tell us about that game, Junius.
That game was absolutely crazy because North Lenoir, they were able to force 7 turnovers in that game. Eastern Wayne could not hold on to the ball for anything. Yet Eastern Wayne, they were able to move the ball a little bit, corral North Lenoir's offense. And I thought when they got that touchdown, the game was over and North Lenoir was going to lose. And then Joseph caught 90-yard kickoff return touchdown. I was actually on the sidelines, like doing something that you say I don't ever do.
You've got to, yes, yeah.
And my goodness, like the way that everybody went crazy on that one was just absolutely phenomenal. Eastern Wayne tried to make it back. They got to the 34-yard line of North Lenoir, and unfortunately, fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, 4 straight incompletes, and North Lenoir is now 5-0.
What was you walked the sideline during that game. What was it like being there for history? I mean, this is the 56th season now of North Lenoir football, and you got to walk the sideline for the historic victory. What was that like, and what were the kids? How were the kids? What were the fans like?
I mean, the kids were absolutely hyped for it. I mean, the fans. I mean, North Lenoir traveled really well to Goldsboro for the Eastern Wayne game, and honestly, this is one of those times that I was on the sidelines just watching, just thinking to myself like, I'm about to have a heart attack because I covered the North Lenoir Southern Wayne game the week before, so that was a 14-13 game. Mm-hmm. Now I'm getting 21-20, and it's like you just feel really invested in the team.
Well, very good. Well, congratulations, Coach Jim Collins and all the folks over at North Lenoir. Neat thing, like I said, on Tuesdays I go around, I talk to all the coaches, and every coach in our area is so happy for North Lenoir, and that's not a joke. I mean, I know people may think, Kinston, North Lenoir, they're such rivals, and South Lenoir. Man, Diesel is happy for North Lenoir. Jeremy Joyner is happy for North Lenoir. Jay Wilson, who is playing North Lenoir this week, very happy for them. So congratulations, Coach Collins and all the folks over at North Lenoir for starting 5-0, the best start in North Lenoir history. We're not going to be able to get to all these games, but we've got to talk about the Bethel Christian, Wayne Christian situation,
Definitely.
Junius, and I know you are on top of that. I had a chance to talk to Coach Crowder yesterday too, but I wanted your impression. Bethel Christian Academy was up 14-0 in the first period. I think it was about 8 or 9 minutes into the game in Goldsboro last Friday night. And then a big fight breaks out on the field, and I'll just let you take it over from there.
Now, I haven't been able to get everything, but from what I was told, 4 Bethel players were ejected, 3 Wayne Christian players were ejected. Britt Crowder decided to move everybody off of the field, and they accepted the forfeit. I think we had a conversation about it, and you said that Brick, he wasn't going to appeal it, and essentially he said, they're just going to take the punishment. I remember the Wayne Christian principal actually DM'd me on Twitter, let me know, listen, it was a combination of, emotions just kind of got the best of us, and then I had the chance to talk to Ashley Stroud, Bethel Christian's AD, and he said the same thing on Monday. Now, I was still trying to piece things together because there were a lot of stories that were going on saying that, coaches got involved and, just a lot of stuff. And
well, you know how these stories get, though. I mean, they start with about that kernel of truth, and then it blows up and blows up and blows up before you know it, you got a whole bag of popcorn.
Now, I did see some things.
Now, tell them about the video. I know there's a video that's on YouTube.
There is a video on YouTube,
Yeah.
so I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you how to get to it, but whatever the case.
I think if you just Google Bethel Christian, Wayne Christian, you'll be able to find it, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But basically, that shows a snippet, and things definitely got heated, and it's one of those things that people were asking me about. It's just like, how come we haven't heard anything about it? My thing is, I've always been the type of person, I never went to go get a story just to get some clicks or anything, and I wanted to make sure that the whole story was out there. It's still one of those things that's relatively vague, but there are some truths, there are some things that were blown out of proportion, and ultimately both teams are really trying to move on and try to restore some order.
Absolutely, and you're right. That's what I've always respected about you, Junius. Junius is a very ethical journalist. He's not just going to throw something out there to try to get some just worthless page views there. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to segue perfectly into this interview that I did with Green Central head football coach Jay Wilson up in Snow Hill yesterday. We hope you enjoy it. Hey there, this is Brian Hanks with the Neuse News Sports Show here in Snow Hill with head football coach of Green Central, Jay Wilson. And Coach, it just feels good to say those words. I love saying head football coach Jay Wilson. Coach, you've been here now for 4 games as a head coach,
Yes.
but you've been here for several years before that. How special is it to you to have that moniker in front of your name now, Coach?
I really enjoy it. I think it's something I've always worked for. It's been 20 years in the game, and to try to get to this point. And now that I'm here, and now I get to have total control, I guess you want to say, over the program and all the decisions that go with it. So it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun so far. We definitely had a little more fun winning these last 2 games. So I've had a good time. I've really had a good time.
The biggest difference in being an assistant coach and being a head coach is
laundry. But no, just everything coming through you. Every decision, team meal, what time do we leave, what color are we wearing this week, all that stuff comes through you, and so you're the final say-so in everything. So when you're an assistant, you kind of make the decisions based on your little stuff or your little area or small area. But when you're the head coach, whether it's a JV decision, whether it's a varsity decision, it's all coming through you. So that's the biggest difference.
the Eastern Carolina 2A preseason offensive player of the year, when all you coaches met in Aiden and voted on it, was Knowledge Branch. A great young man who had an opportunity, and a lot of people, all the other coaches just bragging about, you know, they were scared to face, well, not scared, but they were not looking forward to facing Green Central because of the great players Knowledge Branch. I know you lost him, I think, in the second game. Is that correct?
About second quarter of the Charles B. Aycock game.
There you go.
Game, yes.
Just tell us a little bit, give us an update on him. Is it possible for him to come back this year?
Right now, it will be a way outside shot for him to come back. He had surgery, and it's a kneecap type injury. And so, you know, he and I sat down, we talked with Mom a little bit, you know, even that night. And, you know, our thought process for him is to get him 100% healed.
Yeah.
We don't want to put him back on the field and risk anything that would even, you know, set him back even further. He's back in school. He's moving around a little bit. He starts physical therapy in a little bit. So, you know, we kind of are sitting down game plans for him going forward. It was a blow. It was a blow.
I was going to ask you, how big of a loss is that?
It was a
for
blow.
you?
And you could sort of see, you know, the wind come out of our sails against Charles B. Aycock. You know, it was a back and forth ball game. I think he had just broken off a run for about 10 or 15 yards. It's just one of those plays. He gets hit not low. He just gets hit in a certain way. Kneecap goes into the ground, and there it is. You know, and so the very next play, we had to put a younger guy in, fumble it. They recover, go in and score, and now because he was not only our starting tailback, he was also our starting linebacker. And he and Luke Hoskins, they were a good complement to each other. Luke is more of a power plugger. I can get in here and meet the fullback, and Knowledge is going to clean up everything. So, you know, we went from, to a senior and a junior with plenty of varsity experience into throwing, a Daniel Denny in, who was a sophomore who had plenty of experience on JV, but we all know it's a different kind of animal.
Yeah.
So, then he comes in, and that first game he's wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and he's, and then the next game he has an opportunity to sort of get more settled, and then this last game against Farmville Central, he had his best game so far, and that's sort of what you expect to happen in the maturation level. So it's just, but it took us that game and a couple of practices, because we as coaches are still like, well, okay, let's wait for the MRI, let's wait for the results. Is this a bang, and then you find out it's more serious. So you even as a coach, because it's bigger than football. This is a young man. This is a 17-year-old kid, and you feel sorry. You're upset because you watched him work all summer, lift the weight, squat, have great numbers, lead the team, be a leader, and then 2 games into his junior year, which is that year that sort of really puts you on the map, he gets this injury, and you're just like, God, man, of all the kids that it can happen to, you don't want it to happen to any kid, but you just like the kid that works hard and did the right thing, and then that happens. So it's like, and I said, this is probably the first time I really talked about it on camera or to anybody about his situation, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, well, if they had knowledge, they would. Yeah. That's not how we're built. I know. There's 60 guys in the program, and any one of you at any moment can be the next man to have to step in, and you have to be ready.
Has anybody ever described you as wild-eyed and bushy-tailed?
Maybe my coach my freshman year when we step onto the field and I'm a 155-pound DB and they're running toss sweep my way. But that's about it.
Well, this week's game, you're playing a North Lenore team that is 5-0, the best start in the 56-year history of that program. And you're another one of the things I respect about you. You do respect history, and you love the history of the prep sports programs, not just football, but all of them in our neck of the woods. And to see North Lenore jump out to that 5-0 start, what does that mean to you as a student of sports history here in this area?
I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, you very rarely do you see a team go from 0-10 or 0-11, whatever their last record was, and start off the very next year at 5-0. I mean, that is a big time thing, and I preach to our guys, that they're riding high, they're confident. That 5-0 means something to them. They're walking around the halls with their chest out. They're excited about football. When you're 0-5, and the weather's starting to change, and the basketball's starting to dribble in there, and you start thinking, man, I'm tired of, but now when you're 5-0,
you'll run through a wall.
Coach, it's a time for practice. Nobody has ankle injuries. Nobody's sick for practice. Everybody's let's go, coach. And so that kind of goes back to a testament to coach and what he's trying to build over there and the program and things he's trying to do over there. So I mean, hats off to him. Hats off to him. I'm never gonna 5-0 is 5-0. Yeah. And so you look at that and you say, okay. So it's a great test. Now we can both find out where our programs are. So,
What do you guys have to do well to come away with that victory in Wheat Swamp Friday night?
We have to be physical at the point of attack. They're going to run downhill. They're going to get shoe to shoe, and they're going to try and out-muscle you. And then they're going to throw in some misdirection, and then they're going to throw in a couple of pass plays. And so everybody has to do their job every single play. It can't be, okay, I take a play off, because the play you take off is the one they find you on, and they run the ball your way. And now, we have to on offense maximize every opportunity that we have with the ball. We can't give them short fields. We can't turn the ball over and they only have to go 30 yards to go score a touchdown. And we have to, when we get the ball, we have to score. We can't get docked, in one of those 8-8 ball games. We have to sort of, I used the phrase kind of yesterday, we got to take them into the deep end of the pool. We got to take them into 12-foot water.
I like that.
A lot of people look real confident and look real good in the 3, 4, and 5-foot water, but only people who can really swim go down to the 12-foot. So
that's where you find out if someone's a good swimmer.
Yeah, that's where you find out. Yeah. That's where you find out. And so that's sort of the thing I'm preaching. We got to take them down to the deep end of the pool. We got to take you over to this 12-foot, past the rope with the little buoy. We got to take you on the other end where your feet can't touch. Yeah. And then, if you can swim, you can swim. Yeah. And if you can swim, hats off to you. Yeah. But we got to take you down there. We got to find out.
Thank you so much, Coach Jay Wilson here at Green Central High School in Snow Hill, North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Neuse Sports Show, and good luck on Friday night.
Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure to have you. Anytime.
Absolutely. Yes. Welcome back to the Neuse News Sports Show. Brian Hanks, Junior Smith III here, and I hope one of the things, I know you still didn't get a chance, you've not had a chance to listen to it, you will later, but you did notice that he had, as a Fayetteville State graduate, I hope you noticed, he had to prominently display his A&T helmet behind him.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to hold that against him.
Coach Jay Wilson, I'll tell you what, let's just jump right into this week's games. On Friday night, we've got 5 big games for you. Now, we do need to tell you that Parrott Academy and Aiden Grifton are off this week. However, here are the 5 games we've got. Obviously, you've heard us talking about it for a long time now. Green Central at undefeated North Lenoir. Washington is at Kinston. South Lenoir is at West Craven. All 3 of those are Eastern Carolina 2A showdowns. Then we've got Bethel Christian at Halifax Academy. And then finally, Pinetown Northside is at Jones Senior. So let's just jump right into this Green Central North Lenoir game. Last week, North Lenoir won at Eastern Wayne 21-20. Green Central defeated Farmville Central 29-0 at home. They've had 2 common opponents, Junius. They've both played Farmville Central and beat them both. They both have played Eastern Wayne and have also beat both of them too. The neat thing about this series, and I know you appreciate this too, and that's one of the things that talking to Coach Wilson about, he is such a big fan of football history. They have played each other every year since 1964, Junius.
Wow.
It is amazing. But 2 relatively new coaches, too. Jay Wilson at Green Central, Jim Collins in his second year at North Lenoir. And just you tell me, your feet are on the ground a lot more than mine are in this neck of the woods. Just the job that Jay Wilson has done so far in his first 4 games at Green Central.
I mean, it's been tremendous, especially knowing that he lost Knowledge Branch, his top running back, really early in the season. And he's done for the rest of the season. But that defense has been absolutely tenacious, especially over the past couple of weeks against Farmville Central and Eastern Wayne.
North Lenoir, 5-0. What else can you say? I mean, the Hawks are 5-0. Now, I know I caught a little bit of flack on Twitter for
right.
for tweeting that the 5 opponents they've beat are a combined 2-22, but this is the deal, Junior Smith III. They have beat the teams that are lined up in front of them. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the New England Patriots or if it's the School of the Blind. North Lenoir has beat the 5 teams that are in front of them. They've made history so far this season. You got to walk the sideline the other night for that historic win.
Right.
He has helped change that whole mindset over there, hasn't he?
Definitely. I mean, the kids, they talk about having a dog mentality, and that's exactly what they've been doing. You know what? The games may not have been pretty, but usually history isn't. So the fact that they are 5-0 right now, they've won a pair of close games by 1 point. They've won a couple of blowouts. I mean, North Lenoir is just finding ways to win, and we'll see if that continues into the Eastern Carolina Conference schedule.
I'm so excited about that game Friday night. I have the opportunity. Thank you for letting me go do that
You're
game.
welcome.
I'm so excited about doing that. So, again, very much looking forward to that. You can listen to it live on 960 The Bull, 960thebull.com. Myself and Hall of Fame coach Jimmy Smith and Jason Bryant will be bringing you that game. So you can tune in and listen to that game on Friday night. Okay, our next up game, and this is a big game. I mean, if we didn't have Green Central playing at North Lenoir, this would definitely be the game of the week any other year. But Washington, who is 3-1, is at Kinston, who is 3-2, and I know that's a game that you are covering this week.
Right.
Tell us a little. Let me tell everybody this real quick. Kinston is 8-10 all time versus Washington, but they've beat them the last 4 years in a row. Your impressions of this game Friday night?
You know, this is going to be my first time seeing Kinston and Washington, and
we're in week 6 of the season.
I know. I mean, my plan was to go see him a few weeks ago, but things didn't come into fruition. But whatever the case, as far as Kinston, just kind of looking at some of the numbers, and you know, my question is Dimitri Holmes going to be healthy? But even if he's not 100%, you know, Caleb Gooding has been able to step in and fulfill a strong role. And I feel like Kinston, especially with the strong defense that they're known for, you know, it's going to be a very interesting game, especially with Washington. They're coming in 3-1, and you know, they want to show that they deserve respect in the Eastern Carolina Conference.
You know, one of the things here I go going back to the North Lenoir for a second, but you know, I'm priding myself on go ahead, pat me on the back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm the one who said North Lenoir was going to be the surprise in the Eastern Carolina this year.
Yeah, you did.
They are 5-0, and I still think they're going to finish 4th in the conference. But to me, the wild card in the entire league, I mean, I think we know pretty much every other team is going to be other than North Lenoir, which I think, again, is a surprise. But it's the Pan Pack, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, it's a very, very hard team to gauge. And, Friday will definitely answer a lot of questions about not just Kinston, but Washington and, the rest of the conference. And, we'll talk about this other game coming up soon.
Mm-hmm. But again, to me, they are the wild card. I think their ceiling is as high as – remember, we did the Neuse poll at the coaches meeting. They had one coach voted them first place. They had another coach pick them sixth. So, I mean, that tells you just Washington really is the wild card. No one really knows where they're going to finish this year. Where was North Lenore picked?
They were picked sixth, I believe. No, seventh.
They were picked dead last, and here they are 5-0. Okay, our next game is South Lenore at West Craven. Both teams are 2-2 so far this season. They don't have any common opponents. South Lenore defeated Spring Creek 49-14 last week. West Craven was shut out by Havelock 26-0, coached by former Green Central head football coach
Alan Wooten.
There you go. But this is what's neat about looking at their schedules, dude. They're both on these win one, lose one. South Lenore lost their first game of the season, won their next one. Lost their third, won their fourth. West Craven's done the exact opposite, and that's how they're both now 2-2. But West Craven West Craven picked to finish second in the conference. South Lenore picked to finish sixth. What are you thinking about this game Friday night, which is going to be in Vanceboro?
First off, I just want to say the entire conference is 500 or better right now, which is crazy in its own right.
Isn't that insane?
I mean, you got –
But does that tell you how good the Eastern Carolina 2A is this year?
It's a combination of that, and then also, West Craven, they usually play an insanely tough schedule. I mean, if you put Havelock on your schedule for one, you know that you're –
And New Bern. They played New Bern so far this year. I wish I had their schedule up here in front of me, but yeah. West Craven does not play scrubs.
At all.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the South Lenore has a cakewalk schedule. I mean, they played Princeton earlier this season, and Princeton, they had a long winning streak. So it's gonna be very interesting out there in Vanceboro.
Absolutely. We've got 2 games left that are going on. I'm looking for my camera. There it is. We've got 2 games left that are going on this week in our neck of the woods. Bethel Christian is at Halifax Academy, and the thing is, that is going to be a heck of a game. Did I get something wrong?
Actually, it's Halifax is coming to Bethel.
Thank you. That is right. See, I've got it wrong on my schedule. That's my fault, folks. See, but I've got the expert right here.
We find a way.
That is going to keep me straight. He is right, because it's senior night.
Right.
It's September 27th, and it's going to be senior night at Bethel Christian Academy. Bethel is 3-1. You like that? Okay. How do you do an asterisk? An asterisk. They're 3-1. Halifax Academy is 4-1. The common opponents, they've both played a lot of the same teams. They've both played Pungo, and I only said that because I enjoy saying the word Pungo.
It's Pungo and Chakawinity. Those are the two.
Man, if Pungo would play Chakawinity, I would volunteer to cover that game. That would be awesome. But the one opponent that both of them have played, Bethel let me get this right. Northeast Hobgood. Bethel defeated Northeast Hobgood earlier this year. That's Halifax's only loss this year.
So that tells you a lot. I mean, I've been saying the Bethel Christian is probably the best team in the NCISA 1A. And they're the number 2 team in 8-man football according to Max Preps in the state. You know what number 1 is? Parrott Academy.
Let's go, Patriots. Very good. Our last game of the week that's in our neck of the woods. You had a chance to see Jones Senior last week, let's try that one more time. Last night. Pinetown Northside 3-2 at Jones Senior, who is 0-5, and tell me a little bit about the heart. I can't believe I almost gave you a talk about question. Tell me a little bit about the heart of Jones Senior.
I've got to tell you, they were down big the entire game, but I'll never forget there was one moment in the fourth quarter. I was on the sidelines for a while out there as well, and one of the kids was just jumping around, just excited, trying to hype the team up, and then they actually forced a fumble on the punt. So North Duplin never ran a play in the fourth quarter.
Oh, because of the running clock, I guess, right?
Well, it was that, and also the one time that they touched the ball, they fumbled it.
I love it.
They're excited. They're acting like, they're about to get into victory formation, and then they go on a 9-play, 44-yard drive and punch it in with 30 seconds left. So
I love it.
Jones Senior, it may not show on the scoreboard right now, but they're working every week. They're getting better. They're getting more confident. They've actually got 19 players on the roster now, so baby steps.
Very good. And again, we're throwing some love out to Jones Senior because we do think the world of them down there in Trenton. Okay, we do picks every week. I didn't do them last week because I wasn't here, but for the 3 weeks that we've done them together, I'm 17-5. He's 15-7. Let's knock these out real quick here. Washington at Kinston. I've got Kinston winning that. What about you?
I'm going with the Vikings.
I love it. Now the game of the week: Green Central at North Lenoir. Who do you have?
I'm going with Green Central on this one.
What do you know? Finally, we disagree on one. I am picking North Lenoir. I think North Lenoir is going to win this one, and if they win, it'll be their 6th win in a row. That'll tie a school record. That was the last 3 games of 1969, the first 3 games of 1970, a 6-game winning streak. Okay, South Lenoir at West Craven.
I know South Lenoir has definitely made some improvements, but I'm going to have to go with the Eagles on this one.
Very good. Bethel Christian at Halifax. Or, I'm sorry, let me turn that around. Halifax at Bethel Christian.
Listen, Bethel Christian's got this one.
Okay, very good. I'm actually picking Halifax in that one. I think with the suspensions, I think it's going to be too hard for Bethel to overcome 3 guys being suspended, but I'm going to go with Halifax. But, Coach, that doesn't mean I'm not pulling for you. We love you, guy. And then finally, North Side at Jones Senior.
Again, the Trojans, they're working hard, but I'm going to have to go with the North Side on this one.
Very good. Okay, again, I'm 17-5. He's 15-7. I'm going to pick up a couple of games on him this week.
I don't think so.
Very good. Listen, again, last time, thank you so much to our sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Lenoir Community College, their Quick Jobs program provides training so you can get to work in less than 6 months.
And because LCC partners with area employers, you can find not only just a job, Brian Hanks, but a new lifelong career.
Well, thank you, Junius Smith III. Jobs currently in demand include heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, electrical wiring, energy distribution systems, manufacturing, truck driver training, and welding.
Tuition assistance may be available as well as nationally recognized credentials.
It's a new year and a new you, Junius Smith III. So let LCC empower you to get the job and career you have always hoped for.
LCC, let's go. So to enroll, to learn about Quick Jobs, call 252-527-6223, extension 714, or enroll at lenoircc.edu/quickjobs.
Also want to thank KC Crop Insurance. They are here to serve all your crop insurance needs with more than 50 years of combined experience. They take pride in excellent customer service.
So give the KC Crop Insurance team a call at 252-522-9613. That's 252-522-9613. And tell them Neuse sent you.
Absolutely. Listen, again, we said this earlier in the show. If you are the social media person for your team, you need to be at this social media summit that BJ Murphy and Aletha Thrower and the whole team over here at Neuse has put together. If you're an entrepreneur, a social media manager, or a marketing professional, you need to be at the SM3 Social Media Summit in Kinston. It's on October 5th.
Without question, there are going to be speakers from across the state who talk about how to go viral with your videos, how to sell, market your brand, create a social media calendar, and so much more.
Absolutely. And then finally, tell them about the Neuse newsletter.
Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the Neuse newsletter,
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's really it. Matter of fact, how'd you find this program?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen, if you haven't subscribed yet, just go ahead, go to neusenews.com, hit that subscribe button, and at 7 in the morning, you will get an email with all of the top stories.
And again, don't forget, Friday night, Neuse News is your place for all the football games that are going on in our area. We're staffing every one of them, right?
Yes, we are.
That's cool. Junior Smith III right there. He's a magician, okay? You tell me another newspaper in this neck of the woods in eastern North Carolina that's staffing every single game. Junior Smith III, great job, dude. But again, those games are Washington at Kinston, Green Central at North Lenoir, South Lenoir at West Craven, Halifax at Bethel, North Side, Pinetown at Jones Senior. Use hashtag Neuse News Scores. You don't even have to worry about following Junius, who's that? Junius Smith III, or me at BC Hanks, because all you got to do is just click on hashtag Neuse News Scores. You'll be able to get all those scores that way. Listen, thank you so much for watching this, but we've absolutely got to thank the guys behind the glass here.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Travis Town, he's our executive producer. Yeah, there he is. Wave. There you go. Oh, gosh. Now, Najee, did I get it right? There you go. Najee Cobb. He's from the north. I know he's new to me because I wasn't here last week, but He helped executive produce the show last week. He's from the North Lenoir class of 2011. Hawk Time. There you go. Parker Mitchell was an associate producer for this. Again, thank you so much to BJ Murphy, Aletha Thrower, Brandon Potter. Don't forget, again, use hashtag Neuse News Scores Thursday and Friday night. Your final thoughts, Junius?
I just can't wait for this upcoming week. I mean, Friday is going to be absolutely awesome.
It is conference season finally here. I can't wait for it. Thank you so much for watching the show. We'll see you next Wednesday at 4:30 here on the Neuse News Sports Show.